about sex, about relationships, and about all the things we still don't talk about.
About all the conversations that never start between different partners because you're too scared to ask what you want to know.
About the misunderstandings and miscommunications.
About the boxes, stigmas, and assumptions.
About the stories from our peers that never get told, even though they're
Hilarious!
Heartbreaking.
important.
So, 6 years ago, we created our very own Colorado College version of the Vagina Monologues.
With penises!
Open to everyone, no matter how they identify.
Each year, we create a unique script out of student submissions and survey responses. Survey responses generated answers to questions such as, what role does technology play in your love life? Over 15% of the CC student body completed the survey.
The results?
Is somewhere between sociology and poetry.
So settle in.
And help us start these conversations about
Sexual relations.
Gender relations. Interpersonal relations.
International relations. What?
Relations!
There's nothing I love more than having the talk with a girl for the first time. Masturbation, the clitoris, turn-ons, myths, general curiosities, and so forth. Not only do I learn more every time I do this, but for some it's like I've given them this dictionary for a foreign language they've desperately been trying to understand. I'll answer anything they're brave enough to ask. But this is what I don't get. Most of these girls have rolled around horizontally with multiple partners before me. Why have so many questions gone unanswered? Am I the first guy to bring this stuff up? I mean, call me freaky, but I like to talk about sex. How is it supposed to get good without some strategizing and some post-practice debrief? You know, didn't you have a 4th grade soccer coach that gently advised you on how you can improve? Consider this a public service announcement for men and women alike. Don't be afraid to tell them what you know. It's not embarrassing. We all have these organs. It's just empowerment and a future orgasm waiting to happen. But also, don't be afraid to ask questions. The desire to know and to improve is impressive and sexy. So, let's reclaim the talk. We're no longer 10 years old with our moms chasing us around, cornering us with sex ed books with cartoon pictures of people getting it on. Let's make it sexy. Let's talk about it.
Lost, sad, or bewildered, or befuddled by this overwhelmingly massive world we live in? I know I often do, and I'm guessing I'm not alone. But lately I've been thinking about caterpillars, and it's really helped shed some light on this issue for me. But really, usually we imagine caterpillars just dozing off in their cocoon for a bit, and then after an incredibly productive nap, just waking up as a butterfly. But this transformation is not as simple as falling asleep. See, the cocoon is a caterpillar coffin, an airborne grave. Inside, a caterpillar completely disintegrates, becomes formless, just a little pod of slime. It's only out of this obliteration that the new being can emerge. So, despite our culture's tendency to use the word cocoon to connote safety, warmth, and rest, it actually sounds like a pretty uncomfortable place. Is there anything more frightening than becoming slime while completely abandoning the self? Anything more painful than letting your ideas about yourself disintegrate? Sure, I would love to float through life like a butterfly, but I have an extremely hard time explaining to people, including myself, what the hell it is I'm doing. I mean, I look at the people around me who are talented and successful and inspiring, and I feel the pressure to appear just like them. as though I've got it together, even though I feel like a fucking chicken with its head cut off most of the time. But I'm not. So what I'm getting at is that right now in life, I am caterpillar slime. And, you know, sure, there's an ever-present pressure to produce answers, but I'm thinking about the caterpillar. And I'm thinking about how we have to be slime before we're butterflies. So if we're all in the same boat here, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves to look good doing it? Maybe these transformations, or resurrections need to be wonderfully mucktastic in order to really work. Maybe we need to completely abandon the self we thought we were in order to continue our ongoing progression as people. Maybe it's absolutely critical that we completely fall apart while having an occasional, be it yearly or by the minute, identity crisis in order to experience an identity resurrection.
Yo, hey, what's up?
Oh my god. Oh shit, this is good shit.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I love flopping the clopper. Yeah. No, seriously. No, I love jacking off. No, funny enough, I was jacking off for years before I ever first jizzed. Yeah, true. The first time I jizzed, I thought I pissed myself. Silly me. I then realized after it kept happening that I was a man. Yeah. Man. Guys, come here. Gabby's watching pornography.
Oh,
Guys, I was just telling her about when I first started jacking off. You guys have these stories?
13. Discovered my clit. Life changed.
Okay, fine. It's embarrassing, but I was reading the Sisters of the Traveling Pants, and with my hairbrush and electric massager.
My first time was horseback riding. No saddle structure.
The first time I masturbated, I think I was like a sophomore in college, I want to say. And yeah, I told my friends I'd never had an orgasm before, so they made me go to the sex shop with them and buy a vibrator. It was scary, but I tried it later in the shower, so now we're all good.
Yeah, well, I was just like confused as to why my wiener felt like so fucking good.
The first time I masturbated was with my mom's cat statue's ribbed tail. Didn't wash it and put it back on display.
Well, before I really knew what masturbating was, I have my own specific method. I would run to the living room when no one was looking, lie face down on the carpet, and flip to my special page, my sex ed book. With my right leg raised for leverage, I would grind my genitals into the carpet until I had myself a nice little dry orgasm. Wish I could still have those. No mess to deal with, but all the fun.
I had a similar experience. I was just following along to a Pilates video, and then
See, I got a vibrator and I was using it in my room when my mom walks in. And so I was trying to pretend to be asleep, but the vibrator was still going, and she starts searching around the room trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Finally, after a few clicks, got her off, but...
What, you or the vibrator?
So check this out. Okay, so Google search shorts. I was working on this Italian project for school, and so like I Google search like shorts, and then like shorts, and then like you can imagine you just keep going, and then like with that handful of Nivea for men, and like a head full of guilt, I got right to
It was a cold Christmas Eve, 2009. The stockings were hung above the mantel with care, and the sweet smell of holly filled the air. With my brother at a friend's house and my mother at work, I knew a little personal time couldn't hurt. I had dabbled before and I'd dabble again, but this was the first time I saw life through a new lens. I went to Wikipedia and looked up oral sex. All those basic illustrations with simple colors were the best. I had took a peek before, if there had never been touching, but for some reason that night, I just started pumping. Faster and faster I clicked through the links until I found the perfect image of the pink. The battle of my bulge had finally been won, beginning a list, orgasm number 1. After examining the mess in my sticky creation, I decided I was quite the fan of masturbation.
There's something I've wanted to tell you guys for a while. It's something I think about every time my friends plan their weekend exploits or I'm standing in the omelet line on Sunday, but I've never told anyone. I'm a virgin. Talking about not having done something isn't nearly as fun as talking about having done it. Hey guys, guess what? I still didn't have sex this weekend. See? I don't bring it up because I don't want people to think I'm weird, unmasculine, or abnormal. I don't want to think I'm abnormal. My reason for staying a virgin, it's simple. It's not that I don't want to have sex, it's just that I don't feel comfortable doing it with anyone that I'm not emotionally close to. I've been waiting for the right situation or the right person, and I'm still waiting. Everyone has something that they're ashamed of, something that they keep quiet. At parties, I zip my lips when sex comes up because I've never done it. But the guy next to me might want the topic to change because he's ashamed of having too much sex, or he's embarrassed about the way that he lost his virginity. We need to be able to talk about these things if we're going to see the one simple fact that keeps us from tearing down these walls of shame. For the most part, we're all going through the same shit. Oh, actually, in that term, losing your virginity, when I have sex, I don't want it to be about losing anything. I want it to be about gaining something great. Right now, all I want to lose is my shame.
When I was in 7th grade and became peripherally aware of the whole concept of gay, I had the idle thought that I might be lesbian. It quickly circled back around and presented itself for further inspection, and the more I thought about it, the more it seemed to fit. I freaked out, panicked, and it wasn't homophobia or repulsion of the idea of having a girlfriend. It was this deep, visceral fear that I wasn't who I thought I was, that I had to tell other people that I wasn't who they thought I was, and my life would be harder for it. So, in response to this burning need to prove to myself that I was interested in boys, I developed a borderline obsessive crush in a boy in my PE class that I barely knew. And then, hey, I could delude myself for almost 3 years. So I got to know myself better in the god-awful maze that is high school. I realized, slowly, that I was bisexual. I heard someone explain sexuality as a spectrum. On the one hand, you have the rare, ultra-heterosexual people. On the other hand, you have the rare, ultra-homosexual people. And everybody else falls somewhere in between. Figured I might be near the middle. But being bi didn't change anything about my life, except my perception of myself and again the terrifying knowledge that I wasn't who I thought I was. A few weeks ago, though, I had a different realization that blew me away. It went like so. I am not particularly interested sexually in any particular gender. That doesn't make me bisexual. That makes me asexual. Oh, whoa, stop the car. I looked up asexuality online and it fits. It fits really well. Basically, asexual people simply don't feel sexual attraction. However, we can still desire and still have intimate relationships, or not. Well, that explains a lot, honestly. Since that realization, I feel so much more comfortable in my own skin. I haven't told anyone except for the whole crew on campus. And I'm not scared of telling my family. My parents were fine when I came out as bisexual. I just don't know how to say it, you know? Like, hey, so remember the time I told you I was interested in both genders? Yeah, I was wrong about something that big. Turns out I'm asexual. I don't know how to say that, not yet. But I'll figure it out, and I have the rest of my life, and at least I know this about myself. My libido is just lower than most people's, and there is nothing wrong with that.
There are two boxes on either side of the room, and I stand in between. I'm usually here by choice in a middle ground that suits me, but when it comes to romance, my autonomy slips from my grip. Someone picks me up and places me in one of these two boxes, neither of which shapes me the way I please. In box 1, I'm invisible. When I go to parties, the box extinguishes my sexual significance and amplifies the darkness of my skin. It tells the cute guy in the white button-down that my skin will tarnish his shirt. The box doesn't tell you I'm ugly, but rather that I'm not right. I'm not an option for you. I'm just a box. In box 2, I'm exotic. The box projects an image, a spectacle. The box says I'm your fantasy. I'm something you've never seen before, but somehow you're still entitled to have. I'm hot because the box said my fat ass implies I'm good in bed. The box said hooking up with me would assuage your guilt. So when I relinquish my sexual relationships, I return to my spot between the boxes. However, when I return, I am caught. The boxes put strings around my ankles, and they are determined to linger. They pollute the safety I seek within myself, but no matter how many times I am strung by one of these boxes, I find a way to cut them off. I want to stay in between. And now that I think about it, we all have boxes, labels, stereotypes that can be assigned to us, and they come with expectations. They can manifest not only through race, but through gender and sexuality. And it seems like we are always being put in a box. I want to be without a box. I want to be able to choose my box. I want to be in all of the boxes at once. I want to be male and female, or neither one. I want to be smart and slutty. I want to be bisexual today and straight tomorrow. I want to be able to find a romantic space where my appearance doesn't precede me. A space where my identity is purely one of my own creation. Honestly, I want to just be.
There are several different types of crushes that being at CC seems to lend itself towards. And let me tell you, I have many different types of crushes. Uh-oh, hey,
Hey, man, how's it going?
what? What are you up to?
I'm just eating, so I'll see
Right
you
on,
guys.
okay,
Peace, man.
Yep. There's my in-class crush, which, for obvious reasons, seems to last only a few weeks before they fade back into the rest of the student body and you never see them again. Let's see, there's my party crush, who, for me, is the girl I always seem to see out at house parties. Maybe we've talked, we might have shared a cigarette or two. We honestly could have danced, but my memory is a little bit fuzzy on the subject. Regardless, she's always invading Weber at night, and I have no idea what she does during the day. There's my intramural hockey crush, who is the hot girl on the team we always seem to play after. She looks so cute and sweaty, and I love the fact that she doesn't get to see me in the same condition. Let's see, there's my library crush, my dance workshop crush, my 6 crush, my professor crush, my hippie chick sitting on the quad crush, my soccer girl crush, and of course, my relations crush. The crush that I really like, and the one that I see most often is my Rastel crush. She's a major reason why I even still go to Rastel, even though I live off campus. Don't get me wrong, I do in fact love being able to get a piece of pizza, spinach salad, some sort of stir-fried chicken thing, and a donut in the same meal, but it's all topped off by the fact that she's also regularly there. I mean, I think it's our apparent mutual love for Rastel, which is making me like her even more. Sometimes I'll get the same dish as she does just so I can stand behind her in line, because when she's finished serving herself, she'll turn, smile, and hand me the spoon. Oh, how thoughtful and generous she is! One time, I was filling up my cup with my favorite drink, chocolate milk, and she came up and waited patiently behind me. Turns out, she got chocolate milk too. Now this must be a match made in heaven. Or at least some famous kitchen somewhere. As she sits across the dining hall from me, I can't help but wonder, what's her favorite dish in Rastel? Or why does she always use those smaller plates? Or, and this has actually happened for a long time, what is her name? In the end, all I can do is stare at her longingly from afar. Or maybe one day I'll ask her to pass me the all-natural garlic-infused balsamic vinaigrette. If our relationship ever reaches that pinnacle. I think I'm okay with how things are. But she'll always have a special place in my heart. And it's right next to the special place in my stomach where I keep my Rastel.
I love the way you look, and the way you don't see me, and all the nuance I see in you. I love accidentally running into you, ignoring whatever else is happening, to get a few smiles and the hope that next time might last just a bit longer. I love the ambiguity of not knowing what you know of me and not knowing you. I can feel the chance to be someone new, and I can see you feel it too. But once we've touched, it's all downhill. You come over. I cook, you clean. You kiss me at the door, and the ambiguity flees from the feel of your lips. A month later, we fucked away the illusion that either of us is any different than we've ever been. You seem okay with this. You even still seem interested. But I'm gone inside, chasing the next girl who will let me pretend to be someone else, until that's gone too.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you.
I've been told I'm good with pussies before.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on a cock farm, so.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Have you been tested?
No.
Oh, could you get tested?
I'm alright. I'm good.
No.
What?
I mean, I just like, I don't want to take that risk.
Are you sure about that? Because it'd be a lot of fun if we just got it on right now.
No, yeah.
Come
Sorry.
on, that's so lame. Okay, well, I'm just gonna take this nice pussy instead. Fuck your pussy.
Well, bye.
Fuck you!
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can't make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
Hey,
How's it going?
do you carry that skateboard everywhere?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at it. It's my favorite thing to do.
What else are you good at doing?
I don't know. I'm actually pretty nervous right now, but I really want to kiss you.
Well, you may.
Alright.
I have a question. Have you been tested?
Actually, no, I haven't. It's been about 6 months.
Would you mind getting tested before we do?
No, not at all.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
actually a really good thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's so easy.
It's actually a real shame. About 75% of CC respondents to the relations survey say they haven't been tested. Well, I guess we could still have fun tonight.
Yeah, we could.
Awesome.
L is for the way you
Alright, ready to get tested.
for the only one I see. V is very, very extra.
Wow, that was so quick and easy. Why doesn't everybody get tested? Guess what I just did?
You got tested?
Yeah, and I'm clean.
So am I.
Yeah.
Give to you. Love is more than just a game.
God, you have such a long board.
Getting tested is sexy. This is the only pussy I get anymore. Get fucking tested.
For me and you.
We call this the act of mating, but there are several other very important differences between human beings and animals that you should know about.
Well, everyone, look there. The lone male fumbles his way into the house already loaded well beyond its carrying capacity. That he does not fit is no deterrent, rather it is a sure sign that biddies will abound. The further he enters into the gathering, the more promising appear his prospects. The keg, near empty, but to no effect. The air is thick enough with alcohol perspired and exhaled in its vaporous state to squander any remaining inhibitions. And realistically, as you can see, any female specimen inebriated enough to even attempt dancing at this party will surely not hesitate to succumb to our subject's sloppy, weak advances. After an arduous social climb through the feeding room and the adjoining spaces, he arrives at his destination, the mating pit. With his olfactory and auditory faculties completely disabled, and his vision severely impaired by the strobe lights, he must seek out his quarry using his only remaining senses, touch and taste. Using a tactic as old as human civilization itself, he identifies the female specimen who is displaying the least self-control, and he makes his move. After the females have completed their customary display of loyalty, she is released, and his advances are reciprocated. In the time it takes to describe, they are rubbing so closely together there remains not even room for the tip of the Holy Ghost's nose. When it has become apparent to all present that the only element missing is the horizontal, the couple retreats to his den.
Fuck yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? But then, early in the morning, the female awakes and she silently retreats. And of course, once the couple has uncomfortably crossed paths again at customary rastal brunch, the mating ritual is complete.
I just want to go home and rip somebody's clothes off. Is that too much to ask? With intent, softly, piece by piece, taking in every new swath of skin uncovered, nibbling, sucking, teasing. I want to pleasure him, trail my tongue along his shaft, gently massaging his balls and taunting his penis with my lips around his head. Inch by inch, taking his pulsating cock deeper and deeper into my mouth, swelling, moving faster, slowing down and savoring every moment of sharing bodies, opening up to become one, connected, free, and present. Staring deep into his eyes and seeing the universe's secrets unfold before me. He grabs my chin, pulling my lips up to meet his. Then his go down to meet mine. Tantalizing my pussy and ever so perfectly flicking his tongue across my clit. God, he's good. I moan. Quietly, he licks his fingers, moving them inside me. I moan louder, coming closer and closer to coming. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, fuck. Yes. Fuck. Oh my gosh. Right there. Don't stop. Oh my gosh. Yes. 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 Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, that's right. He's gone. We're over. And I'm still here, pretending, searching, yearning for something the same. I just want a lover. Someone who enjoys their body in the most intimate way. But so often, I feel like people are hooking up in the most unromantic and emotionally distant situations with hopes for something satisfactory. I'm a woman with a complicated ass body, and I'll tell you that it ain't easy finding a man who can come in off the streets and make me feel so good. I mean, how often does it happen that you hook up with someone for the first time after a party and they blow your fucking mind open? Yeah, I thought so. We all have these high hopes and this fantasy that if we take someone home, we're gonna feel really good about it. And maybe they'll become our everything. And don't get me wrong, this certainly can happen, but even if it does, are we really that much happier? Because once we start a relationship, we begin yearning for something new, exciting, and fresh. Because we all know that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. So I just want to go home and rip somebody's clothes off with intent, clarity, connection, and consent. Someone to be vulnerable with, and someone who will take the time to get to know me, us, our bodies, together. Is that too much to ask?
Colorado College students, answer the question. What makes you feel sexy?
Scootering into the sunset with the wind blowing through my hair.
Being comfortable in my body and with my partner. No bra, no underwear, no fear of shame or scorn.
Yoga pants, and when Irishmen say my name.
That look when my partner is thinking, damn, as I enter the room.
Confidence and getting out of pools.
Rubbing fruit all over my woman.
Being me, even if that means I'm just wearing sweatpants and a fluffy sweater, I feel sexier than if Beyonce and Mark Wahlberg had a baby.
Being admired for my body, after. Being admired for my personality.
Getting drunk?
Fuck yeah!
Dance on tables with no clothes on.
When my partner moans, it is such a turn on to know I'm doing something. Or a lot of things, right?
People who look right into my eyes and won't look away.
Crazy mandolin solo in the shower to let's get it on.
Coming out of the backcountry, dirty, sweaty, super heady. Oh, and successfully executing the punchline to my favorite joke.
Baking a cake with my partner and licking the batter off of his fingers.
Dancing in front of the mirror right after a shower. And jamming so hard on another awkward lotion. Being so confused if I'm moist because of the water or is it the lotion? Am I sweating already?
wearing sexy lingerie and her conservative clothing.
His text finally came. Want to take a nap later, it said. I pictured us in my bed, his muscular body spooning mine, kissing, receiving the gentle affection he had been promising me. I settled on an old, worn-out t-shirt and leggings. In a way, it reflected the type of guy I thought he was. The adventurous, charming, outdoorsy slackliner whose t-shirts are always deliciously frayed at the neck. You know the type. I made sure my door was unlocked and climbed into bed, dozing on and on, semi-aware of how late he was. Finally, the door opened. I kept my eyes shut for a moment longer, relishing the time that had come.
I know you're not sleeping.
I opened my eyes. Maybe I should have detected it then. His eyes had hardened. He started to undress, sweater from the arc over that frayed t-shirt. He unbuttoned his pants, then unzips them. I remember the sharpness of the unzipping noise. He was unzipping with a purpose.
That's what you were to nap?
This was not how it was supposed to go. He got into bed, his cold body against mine. I resumed my napping position, the one I had envisioned in my daydreams.
You didn't think we were gonna nap, did you?
I thought he was the old worn-out t-shirt guy. He took my lips and kissed them, hard. He touched my breast, his cold hands showing no feeling, just a hard touch, and then again. He positioned me on top of him, his hard dick rubbing against my leg. His kissing got softer, his shoulders rolled back. He was waiting for my body to inch down his, kissing the coarse hair of his happy trail. The first time we had ever hooked up, I sucked his dick. I was desperate. I remember feeling like it was finally our time and it was my job not to fuck it up. My mind finally wised up. Stop thinking about what you want this to be and fucking come to terms with reality. He got out of bed swiftly and put on his clothes. Pants first, that sharp zipper. Then, haphazardly, the sweater from the arc. He stared at me the entire time, barely blinking. His eyes bore into mine, but I refused to let them go.
You look like you want to say something.
Tearing me to say what we both knew to be true. The nap, the hard dick, the old worn-out t-shirt notion. He opened the door and slapped down his board. I could hear the wheels scratch against the carpet floors of the hall until he turned the corner and all that was left were echoes.
Why?
Who? When? And how much did you drink?
Police record. Stale air. Am I breathing?
Wake up, wake up.
Try to remember.
Can't.
Won't?
Whose body?
Certainly not my body.
Not my body.
My body is
fine.
I am
fine.
Am I breathing?
The nurse smiles. We found a bruise.
Success.
Finger poised for entry up my ass.
Pills slide down like slugs.
Thank God you got these in time.
Thank God.
Sliming down my throat, bile burning.
So lucky.
Leaking.
Hold it in.
Holding.
Victim's room.
I am not ants on a log, churning in the peanut butter.
I am not like you.
Clear eyes, stand straight.
You can't see me.
Not me.
You won't.
Take off your clothes.
Spread wide, pee here, sex often, drink much.
What a shame.
Shame?
Going to sleep now. Need to sleep.
Wake up, wake up.
Blackout. Whiteout.
Milky memories.
No good.
Can't remember.
Best to try to forget.
When did my business become yours?
When did my body...
Whose body?
Speak no evil.
I won't listen.
Let us pray for the rape victims of America.
So sad. Those victims.
Are they looking at me?
No tracks on my arm.
No cuts.
My lonely bruise. Fading.
Faceless.
Case dropped. Lack of evidence.
Am I breathing?
I think sexual violence is any non-consensual sexual encounter where there's a lack of communication. An instance where someone felt unsafe or violated, where it happened too fast to think, or to think clearly or communicate. An instance where someone felt pressured, made to feel manipulated, or guilty. It can be aggressive, but it can also not be.
Sexual misconduct starts at catcalling.
Guys, did you know that a CC student cannot give consent if they're intoxicated? Like seriously, think about how many of our hookups would be considered sexual assault on that criterion. Seriously. I mean, like, I know you can't technically give consent, like, legally if you're intoxicated, but seriously, that's really hard to abide by on a college campus. I don't know, I just kind of feel like maybe we need to start a new discussion about how to go about getting clear-cut consent in drinking environments like parties.
Yeah, when I was raped, I was drunk. She was drunk too. I made it perfectly clear that I wasn't going to have sex with her. I didn't even know her name. And you know, I was ashamed to tell anybody because as a man, I didn't want people to know that I was taken advantage of by a woman. I only told one or two of my very best friends and they played it off like it was no big deal.
I think that there is a gray zone and that consent is sometimes considered blurry, even when it shouldn't be. But if someone defines their experience as sexual assault, it is. And it may seem weird to ask, but what other real moral option is there? Ask, and ask often. Listen, and respect the answers you get.
Unfortunately, because of the gray zone, not everyone believes victims. The gray zone is where consent gets fuzzy. The gray zone is why I never reported any of my 4 sexual assaults. It would have been his word against mine, and the gray area seemed too vast to navigate. I think it's impossible for victims to seek justice as long as the gray zone exists. It needs to be an irrefutable part of our culture that yes means yes, and only yes means yes. I don't care how drunk you are or how many times you've said it before. It needs to be said every time to keep both parties safe and protected.
As a man, I've been in the position of physically being able to say no and had a desire to say no, but did not due to other pressures, like not wanting to hurt the other person's feelings by telling them I'm not attracted to them. This gets kind of confusing because the onus is not typically on the woman in the situation to clarify my desire. In reality, I think this should definitely be mutual, but in practice, I think this gets lost in assumptions about men and their general downness.
Yeah, I feel like some of the hardest situations are when somebody changes their mind partway through for some reason or other. And then they don't get reported very often because people feel guilty that they like led somebody on, and that just doesn't make any sense. No should mean no, always, at no matter what stage of the hookup.
Once, someone forcefully made out with me and was being way too free with his hands on my body. It was just that, fairly innocent, not the most traumatizing thing that could happen, but it was devastating. While it was happening, I lost all control and I couldn't say no. It was like my body language wasn't enough of a signal.
We need to teach people how to look for and ask for consent. And I think instead of just teaching people how to defend themselves against the man in the bushes and telling people not to walk around alone at night, we need to educate people about the fact that most sexual violence occurs between 2 people who already know each other, often very intimately.
Yeah, and as a man, I feel really at risk. I just don't want to be someone's mistake. Drunk hookup sex can be terrifying.
That's why I'm always upfront. You know, I tell people when I don't want to have sex, and I also tell them when I do. You may make it all the way back to my room before I say, yes, I am attracted to you. But no, I do not want to have sex at this moment. You know, some people might think I'm leading the person on, but why should I have sex with someone just because I've crossed some artificially constructed threshold? Fuck that. You know, if I want to watch Netflix, make out for a while, you bet your sweet ass that is exactly what I'm going to do. And you can choose to join me or not.
Yes, please.
He asked if we could have sex, and I said I wasn't in the mood. He said no worries, and asked if I was hungry. I said yes. He made me pancakes.
So, what is a sexy way you guys would ask for consent?
Hello. Is it okay if I kiss you right now?
Yes. Let's save it for later.
Oh. Just ask questions along the way and make it sexy.
Speaking of sexy, what do you think you would want your partner to ask you, or what would you want to ask your partner in the bedroom?
I don't know. How about let's try something new.
Got big.
Would you like to cover me in whipped cream and chocolate and slowly lick it off, teasing me with pleasure until you finally fuck me into next week?
Yes.
Will you have tons of morning sex with me?
Yes, but only, and I mean only if you tell me exactly where your clitoris is.
Schoolgirl or hot nurse?
What's your kinkiest fetish?
What do I gotta do to get you hard?
Let's act out each other's fantasies. Blindfold me? Someone?
So, how do y'all feel about anal play?
Hey, I was wondering if you could tie me up and play as if I'm a puppet.
So, which fruit do y'all want to break out next?
Well, I have a pineapple right here.
Jackson?
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Thanks for coming, man. Get down here.
Oh,
Come here.
It's one of those things that it's really good to carry in your pocket for like a multitude of reasons. Yeah, look at that.
Sit on it.
Fruits are the sex organs of plants.
Baby. That looks like fun over there. You think we could have a threesome? And can the third be a male?
What do you want to happen right now?
Someday, you'll have a daughter. And when she's born, she'll open her eyes to unfamiliar people and objects. She'll cry until she's welcomed into your open arms with unconditional love, a love that causes your chest to swell 50 times its size with each passing moment you hold her in your two curved palms.
And when you go out into the world, you hear an endless stream of
Hey baby, you're sexy, you know that?
Damn!
And you think of your beautiful daughter asleep in her crib at home. You'll want to lock her in there, just like Rapunzel, to ensure her safety. And if any man tries to take her away from your loving arms and your protection, you'll make sure he never gets his happy ending, and that he pays a price that can never compare to that which all women are forced to pay the moment they enter this world. Horrific visions will occupy your brain, and you will be unable to escape, because violence is a given for the untouched skin of a baby girl branded by inequality.
And you know, there'll come a day. She trades in picnics in the park for her first day with a boy, bedtime stories for sneaking out the back door, and butterfly kisses for sex with guys who say she has a nice ass. So there's a promise to be made between you and your daughter. You can provide her the knowledge to navigate a society that criminalizes a victim of rape when she asks for an abortion and high-fives a guy that just fucked a nameless girl at a party. In a society that refuses to stop asking what she was wearing.
And you will suggest that she wear a shirt underneath her tank top because of its sheerness, and plead with her, honey, come on, be more ladylike. Each day you will reiterate a message already stenciled in the back of her brain that says, never close your eyes. Don't even blink, not for a second. Because in that second that she allows herself to live freely, she also allows herself to fall prey to her mother's demons.
But all this is not tragedy. She'll not see it as such. She'll see herself as strong, made stronger by her refusal to hide behind shields, to dodge, shrink, become invisible. She can be selective in her relationships and trust, infinitely loving, passionate, able to forgive. She'll see herself as, she'll come to understand that all of her past makes up the woman she is, and she'll see herself as strong. And she will love herself so she won't want to change anything.
And as she continues to grow into her own, she will wish you taught her how to fight. Not like a girl and not like a boy, or even a man, but like a human being demanding her right to love, respect, peace, and well-being. She will wish you taught her that the words she speaks carry more value than the color of her lipstick, and that her fire and her passion will leave a stronger impression than the width of her hips. She will wish that your shields were not merely tools used to normalize violent acts against women, but rather that they could dispel all evil from the world.
I've had my fair share of sexual encounters over the years. The good, the bad, the ugly. Don't ask. But I've learned to listen for some red flags, warning signs that tell you things may be getting weird. If someone says one of these things to you, pump the brakes, sweetheart, you may be getting in too deep. And yes, these are all 100% true.
Oh yeah, I'm a Majestic Stallion. What are my business? Wait, no, wake up my mom.
We did actually wake up his mom. We froze as she stumbled into the room like a menopausal yeti, and I swear his dick trembled with fear. She never believed we were just doing homework again.
You ever seen a dick this big before?
There is no good way to answer this. If you say no, you risk inflating his already big ego. If you say yes, well, he certainly won't be expecting that. Guys love to be told they're sexy, but this takes things to a new level.
I've been waiting to do this since we were 14.
That's the problem with dating girls you knew in high school. History. They knew you with braces, with acne-spotted cheeks, with greasy bangs. If, like me, you make a mistake of dating them post-adolescence, you will constantly be reminded of your awkward phase. This girl apparently remembers very fondly. Maybe she has a fetish for roller backpacks.
Hey babe, if you're looking for a real hunter-gatherer, hit me up. Swipe right.
I found his camping tent to tell me this. All night I waited for Claus to come tearing through the tent, groping for the little foil packet in the corner and gouging my puny human self in the process. All while this little bear cub slept safe and sound.
Yeah, both my roommates have pink eye, but I think I'm immune.
She is not immune. She has pink eye, and now, so do you. I've made this mistake twice and woken up with a crusty eye both times. Turns out conjunctivitis is the latest and greatest STD.
Hey. Sorry I can't keep it up. I think it's because I drank half a bottle of cough syrup.
Whiskey dick is one thing. Robitussin dick is another. If the guy you're hooking up with is chasing his liquor with extra strength cough suppressant, examine your life choices.
Inside, knitted itself with the deliciously warm air and fit our bodies to each other carefully. I have never, ever felt so much lack of control. I have never felt content to lose it, but it was like second nature to fall into a wonderfully slow, deliberate, and complete loss together. It was only a single word in my mind that pulled me from the middle of my lap out and away from him like a puppet string. I don't remember the word. Maybe it was more of a feeling. I just remember learning what desire really means when talking about two bodies. Anyway, he asked me to stay. Back in the quiet kitchen, he grinned at me from over his mug of water, and the crinkles by his eyes laughed at my awkward nervousness. I wasn't nervous for what I wanted to do, or what he wanted to do. I was nervous for the moment in the morning when he realized it was the whiskey that had asked me to stay, instead of those crinkling eyes. I curled my fingers into his and pulled them around my waist, letting them rest on my lower back. He leaned down and I softly grazed my thumb on his stubbly chin over and over and over and over. His kisses were quick, mine were long. In the end, I had to leave. I just couldn't get the thought of his possible regret the next morning out of my head. Too much searching for fantasy makes one suspicious of when fantastical moments are too close for comfort.
I first met her in upstairs Warner for an ORC trip meeting.
We bonded immediately over the typical boy bullshit.
Forward 1 year, and I began to sense a different type of connection with her, and I couldn't get my mind off of her.
I asked one of my roommates why suddenly one of my best friends was all over my dreams and fantasies. His advice told me to speak up, so I did.
One day when we were hanging out, she suddenly said in a serious tone,
"Hey, there's something I need to talk to you about."
The energy quickly changed, and I could tell she was really nervous.
I knew there was no turning back now, so I just said it. "So, I've been thinking about you a lot, more than I've ever thought about anyone. And it's really weird because I'm not used to having these feelings for a girl. But I'll just say it, I really like you, as more than a friend. And that's that, you don't have to say anything, that's that."
Well, I was not expecting that one. After a long couple of silent, awkward seconds, I subconsciously realized that I had been feeling the same way about her too. We were both on the same page and thought we should hang out more.
We were both also seeing a boy on the side and advising each other about it. We decided we needed to make a move on each other to see if things would go anywhere.
This is where it gets brutal. we discussed and planned how we would share our first kiss. She came over to my room one night to drink before going out. And it was really fun until there was that silent, awkward second. She got over and came and sat right next to me. Instead of just letting it happen, we kind of talked it through, just making it so much worse. I looked into her eyes, and then I just went for it. Ow! Hot. Get it, Sammy?
I laid her down, but I couldn't help thinking how strange and unnatural this had all turned out. I wanted to keep kissing her, touching her, showing her how much I cared, but I couldn't get over the fact that we were both so passive. So, what did you think?
I don't know, to be honest. It's so weird having two people be so passive. I'm usually used to the man being more dominant and me being the passive person.
Yeah, I'm used to being the more submissive person during sex, too. We might also just not click sexually as two women, as two people.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really glad we tried it out. The idea of being sweet with you and kissing you was so appealing. But
yeah, maybe it was just the idea.
Yeah. In the end, what stopped me from taking anything further with her was this whole passive thing. And I still love her more than a friend, but we decided that we were great just as friends and to maintain an incredible friendship.
Here and there, we'll have the occasional sensual dance session at a party. We'll get a little more heated than most friends tend to get. I love it. I love her. It's just a kind of love I can't act upon physically. But I'm so glad we tried and got the chance to explore each other's bodies. And regardless, we will always love each other's souls. And that's more intimate than sex could ever be.
Having sex on my period is how I separate the boys from the men. I feel like period sex really grosses some guys out. It adds this whole new bodily fluid to the mix, one that is not so easily cleaned up, one that doesn't disappear when all is said and done. It can be embarrassing and a particularly personal experience to have sex with a guy while on your period. It's you and your juices all over the place. And the rougher the sex, the messier it gets. Case in, period sex with a casual fuck buddy. He starts to pull out the condom, and I tell him I'm on my period. He then donned a look of sheer horror that made me feel deeply ashamed. He's quickly putting the condom away and starts to get soft, and then proceeds to ask me, wanna blow me? Contrast this with period sex with the man I love. You know, the first time it happened, he went with it. Extra lubrication, he told me. He never worried about the blood staining his sheets, and if anybody ever saw it, he told them that he ate salsa in bed, which is adorable. Despite the mess and the array of seemingly gross stuff that came out of me during period sex with him, he had fun with it, and he made me feel comfortable, never ashamed. Maybe I'm hopelessly in love or a bit too romantic, but having sex with him while on my period helped me formulate my idea of love. He loved every aspect of me, and hopefully still does. Sex with him is fun, no matter what time of the month, and he makes me feel sexy, even when I feel disgusting. So, if that's not love, what is?
day with my trusty old cane pole. And something huge just grabbed my line. It towed me around for 2 full days straight. It was crazy. My God, you klutz. You always trip on my laundry.
Well, it's always in my way.
It's always in the same place. You're just too clumsy.
No, maybe you should clean up a little more.
Maybe one day. Hey, what is it?
I don't know. I'm happy. Oh, hey, you never finished telling your story.
All right, yeah, so, turned out to be a giant squid that was just coming to bask in the sun at the surface. But, you know, like, I had to let him go, because, like, killing one of those guys is like killing a unicorn.
Sure, totally. I recognize this feeling. It's overwhelming, it's sweet and nearly painful, and almost too much to bear. It's the feeling I get when marveling at my family, my closest friends, the people I really care about, the people I love. This is what it feels like to love.
I've never loved romantically before. I've been infatuated, sure. I've fancied myself in unrequited love. I've liked and I've lusted. But I've never loved until now.
I love him. How strange is that to say? I feel it so strongly, that sweet tension around my heart, an overwhelming warmth.
Hasn't everything I've ever read or seen about love told me that the person who says it first is vulnerable, and so how can I know she's as wholly mine as I imagine? What if it's just too soon? Good night. Oh, I need to talk to her. Maybe she wants to say it too. Or maybe she feels the same way. Maybe she's just scared. Yeah, what is it?
Nothing, it's nothing. Good night. It wells at the back of my throat and I almost push it out so many times, but it always gets caught just behind my teeth. I'm not brave enough to say it.
Hey, I love you.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, he said after 2 days he had to let it go because he couldn't imagine killing such a majestic creature. Well, listen, I'm gonna go, but I love you. I miss you too. I'll call you tomorrow. Night. Yeah, so I'm in a long distance relationship. When I say that, people look at me with pity in their eyes. Oh wow, that must suck. Yes. And no, though. No, I'm with her because I couldn't imagine being with anyone else. I'm committed to her. As committed as I would be if she were right here at CC. And yes, I have been tempted in a drunken stupor to smash lips with the nearest breeding specimen. But that has never happened. Because in those moments, I think about her, and I think about how much I want to hear about her day, how much I want to tell her about mine. So, actually, this whole thing has turned out to be way easier than I thought it would be. Simply because I love her. And I love being here. And I'm not willing to give up either of those things. My mom put the situation really well. She said, you don't forget your family when you're far away. You call them and you remember them and you love them all the while. Plus, like, we're connected, right? We don't Skype for hours and hours every single day, but I mean, we definitely make time to communicate. We talk a lot over text. send each other links, music over Facebook, pictures, the occasional heartfelt email or letter, and it actually works for us. So long distance relationships can work, and they can work in college. Looky here, they can work right here at CC.
I am a romantic. I fall in love 5 times a day. Just a year ago, I was madly in love with a girl who didn't love me back. Not in that way. I tried to prepare myself for the inevitable, but I couldn't accept the reality until it came. I cried. We made love a few more times. Then she left and found someone else. I distanced myself from women for a few months, trying to feel my pain. I drank too much, didn't feel enough, then found my shaky feet. It felt good to feel, to hurt. Every day, I saw a woman I thought I could fall in love with. Hookups here and there, they led to nothing. I claimed I didn't want anything, but of course, I did always want something. Then I found a woman I wanted, or at least thought I wanted. I laid on all the moves. She seemed into it. We went to the dog park and watched my dog be what I wanted to be. A creature unhindered by expectation. We went sledding, fucking sledding. That's some childhood shit. We shot beer cans in my backyard. Guns equal danger. Don't women love danger? We even went to a dog breeder to get puppies. Fucking puppies. We made dinner. We hooked up. When she felt it, I did too. All the while I was trying to keep my head straight. This was not supposed to be anything. This was supposed to be fun. I wanted to adventure, hook up, hang out. And while I wanted to be intimate, but intimacy to me means not being alone. Because let's face it, I'm a junkie. I'm addicted to intimacy with the woman I'm fucking. It makes me feel amazing. Like going to the gym. Like that perfect amount of drunk. Like that perfect drug. It is my drug. I fiend for it. I get high off it. I'm in love with being in love. I don't know how to be alone, and I don't know if that's okay. Is that okay?
And now, the best drunk texts from the students of Colorado. Send me a picture of the toolbox.
I made you come. Don't ignore me.
I dirt wiener soup.
I just want to say that you have a really big dick. Like, really big. Hey, not that I care or anything, but I'm like out right now, so if you want to join me, text me. Come over. I'll make bacon and then eat you out.
Fucking weird.
Yo, what's up, bro? We gotta chill tonight, man. We're out here getting fucked up. I'm talking like fucked up. You know, my bad if I'm like majorly drunk, etc. But I'm trying to fucking figure something out tonight. I want to feel your body, man.
The ice in my cup is the tears from my eyes, bruh. I love you, full stop.
I know you know I want to fuck you. So then please do that now.
Hey, what's up? Can I come over? I'm outside your window.
I don't know you that well, but I want you to mother my babies.
I dug up your mother's garden because fuck Farmville.
Where are you? I'm in your room. I'm in your couch.
I got lost walking home, but I love you and I miss you.
Guys, hold on. We need to stop here. Come here, have a seat, everyone. Sit down. We're gonna have a discussion. Yes, come now, sit. Do you feel the weight of that plastic, glass, metal brick in your pocket? Shiny? Like a few ounces, probably. Warm to the heat of your skin. Now, think of the real weight of that brick in your mind. How it contains almost everyone you know before your strokes away. Do your jeans show the imprint of where they sit in your pocket? Do your habits show their imprint on your psyche? In every unconscious phone check, phantom vibration and blink, staring at your screen, waiting for someone to reach you. Well, if that's the case, guys, I'm Dr. Clarence, and we're here to have a discussion about the role of technology in our relationships. So I invite you all to open up. Let's be vulnerable. Let's share. Would anyone care?
Why do we have to be here with this fucking nerd?
Well, at least you got a point, you know. Technology creates a lot of room for miscommunications.
Yeah, I agree. I've had so many arguments over texting, and subconsciously I judge my crush off of their texting skills.
Yeah.
But I don't know, guys. I don't think it's all that bad. I gotta thank Snapchat for keeping my long-distance relationship alive.
Yeah, no. I've had Skype sex a few times.
And how did that make you feel?
Weird.
I don't know. Stupid texting. It's an unnatural way of expressing romantic feelings. You can never tell someone's tone through a text. You know, unless you use the smiley faces. I'm not trying to do that.
I don't know, guys, I greatly overthink the wording of my texts and laying them with like secret subtle messages that like no girl would ever even understand, and then like I read the response messages with like just as much critical analysis as is applied like a 400 level English class here. Like I like search/hope for some sign of affection, and even when it is there, like 98.4% of the time, it's not even really there. Yet I still overthink and overread.
Textbook case.
Yeah, I hate the texting game. I mean, just answer it when you fucking get it. This whole whoever cares less business just gets in the way of true connection.
Yeah, but like the trick with that is that if you always care less, then you're good.
Text game and Facebook, they're fun ways to flirt, sure,
Definitely.
but like nothing beats in person, right?
I think we can all agree that romantic texting and romantic face-to-face talking are two totally separate universes to navigate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at first, I tried talking to my girlfriend over text, but it wasn't until we had real conversations that we actually started dating. And a couple ladies.
Is that all? Anyone else want to share? This is fantastic, guys. Hey, well, I really want to thank you for being so open and vulnerable. I feel like we made a lot of progress tonight. This is fantastic. I'll see you guys next. Yeah.
Thank you, parents.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this was so. Thanks, guys.
Texting fucks with my head. When I check my phone and she hasn't responded within 5 minutes, my palms start sweating. Even as I'm conveniently forgetting that I hate my fucking phone so much that I deliberately leave it places so I can't look at it. But so, what if she's like that too? In a conversation, if someone didn't respond within 5 minutes, it'd be weird. Even 20 seconds is weird. Try it sometime, I guarantee it. You know, we understand that technological communication is more complicated than person. I don't lose my mind if I don't get an email back within 5 minutes, but texting bridges this weird gap in my mind where I suddenly expect the timing to matter. Who knows why? And that's not even counting for what each text actually says. Does it really matter how many Y's are in her? or whether she uses exclamations or periods or commas? What does it say about her that she seems allergic to real spelling, even when she sounds like she speaks English when you talk to her? Sure, all these concerns are legitimate in person and worthy of thinking about. If she can't form coherent sentences, consider whether other aspects of her are incoherent. But texting's a brave new world in which everyone's not free all the fucking time because they're too busy worrying about what that emoticon meant or whether she suddenly doesn't like me anymore. Problem is, these fears are not born of rational thought. If they were, you would all be cured because I just preached the truth. These fears are the ugly face of inadequacy winking at you in a bathroom mirror, and it's not a nice wink. It's a mean wink, and you know it. So take a deep breath when you're deciphering cryptic texts. They're not a puzzle. They're just a representation of someone else who is just as flawed and self-conscious as you are. For some awesome reason, they gave you their number, or you gave them yours. And now you hold each other in your pockets. If that's intimacy already, what more do you want?
Ever wonder why girls always go to the bathroom after sex? The reason is twofold. One, if she doesn't, she'll be peeing out blood the next day because she has a UTI, but Betcher will tell her it's chlamydia, which is fucking terrifying. Two, if you didn't use a condom, there is now semen in that cavity we call the uterus. Supposedly, Sir Isaac Newton discovered gravity in 1687, but I say bullshit. Women have known about this phenomenon since the dawn of time, because no matter how tight one's vagina is, any semen hanging around up there will obey the law of gravity and fall right out that bad girl during a post-sex bathroom break. Sometimes we can't even make it to the bathroom before this occurs. This is a terrible occurrence. I am a survivor of such an incident. Once upon a time, it was the witching hour. I didn't think anyone would be awake. I was looking freshly fucked, and for the first time in a while, I hadn't been fucking myself. A man did it for me. So after he came, I traversed to the bathroom in my towel, again thinking no one would be awake. But there he was. One of the Phantom 500 had crept from his room and locked eyes with me. I ventured forth, knowing the exodus was fast approaching, with my hallmate only 2 paces behind. But it was too late. I'm generally a shitty person, and that night, gravity was karma's bitch. The jizz began to drip down my thigh. I shuffled as fast as I could without aggravating the precariously placed jizz,
lay down my calf. In plain sight of my hallmate. There was nothing to do. It was the obvious that my leg was being caressed with jizz. But I held steadfast to the bathroom on the horizon, and when I reached it, I entered the doorway, held the handle, and looked back out at my new friend. As he passed by, I gave him a nod and reached out for the fist bump. He did not bump my fist. He did, however, give me a nod, acknowledging our very special moment together. Something I deeply cherish, and I'm sure he does too.
So, I was hitting it off with a sexy man slice named Ian from my 8th block FemGen class. After a solid first week of eye fucking from across the room and weird unnecessary questions about our readings, I finally snagged a study date with him in Tut Library. And we were just chugging along with our homework when his friend Taylor came over to talk to us. And the three of us talked for a bit, exchanged some eye contact when I began to sense some sexual tension. Then Ian asked,
You doing anything later?
It depends.
Cause, we're trying to have a threesome.
Woo! Okay, so I was both shocked and impressed by his bluntness. If you want to get with a feminist, just know there's nothing sexier than actively asking for consent. So, after expressing my willingness to participate, the three of us headed back to Ian's room, and we talked for a bit, pretending we didn't notice the awkward atmosphere in the room. Then, suddenly, the lights were off, along with my clothes, and I was being kissed all over by two different guys, and they were putting me in fun positions I've never tried before. And these boys certainly had no aversion to eating pussy. I mean, oh, they were good at it. My pleasure was important and even sexy to them. I had never experienced anything like it and came out of the threesome feeling confident and respected.
Fuck! 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 Why the fuck is there a bump on my dick? Doc says it's a clogged sweat gland, glorified pimple. Disgusting. My dick is meant to be perfect, like the body of Apollo. See, there's this girl I like. Kissed her once, kissed her twice. She knows my dick isn't operating properly. First, my zipper got me, then this. Morning of the day with the girl I like. Another doc says the same thing. Clogged sweat gland. Disgusting. I'll cut it open so it heals faster. Needle stuck in my dick. Doc picks up scalpel, I close eyes. There you go. Now put your little puppy away. Did you just fucking say that? Go to Whole Foods with Pretty Lady to get fixings for dinner. Sourdough baguette crusted in a cabrales with olive oil. Salty paper-thin prosciutto, baby arugula, nutty cheeses, warm juicy peaches, and sweet red wine. Holy fuck, I'm nervous. She looks beautiful. Is my dick going to end up coming out? Movie. Sit awkwardly on couch. Watch classic. Are you invested in this film? Or can I kiss you? Is that your best goddamn line? I sit lay down on an awkward couch. Migrate to bedroom. Clothes come off. I have a boner? Is my scalpel cut going to rip open? Wow, she's sexy. Screw it. Just enjoy the fun part. She's a great kisser. Wait, just say it. Moment of truth. So, wanna have sex? Can you? I mean, my dick's not broken. Just a bit injured. Got a bump. Sure. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are not the most romantic words ever uttered in the bedroom. All systems go. Fuel? Check. Co-pilot? Check. Ability to fuck without pain? Check. Dick too traumatized? Check. Fuck!
When she asked if we were over, it came as quite a shock. You know, like, as if I hadn't been thinking about the end all this time. She knows better than anyone that I don't know how to make my desires into reality, so hearing her shout my own thoughts back in my face just made no sense to me. I knew I wanted us to just go our separate ways, but in that moment, that want felt more like a distant memory, when in fact, I think we were the distant memory. I guess I'd just forgotten how well she knew me, how easily she read me, how distant we weren't. I began to just spit words out in an attempt to ramble my way to safety. Didn't get me very far, though. In fact, I talked myself right back into being with her. Each goddamn memory that spewed out of my mouth reminded me how much we had loved and that I really wasn't ready to let go. Not like this. We went back to my house, and she fell asleep in my arms. Unfortunately, my true feelings remained suppressed. When I woke up, the heat of her body next to mine was overwhelming. Every fucking inch of me rubbed against her skin in the worst way. And her sweet scent told me that I'd missed my chance. I realized I'd made a mistake. So, there I was, held back by her presence, forced to cozy up in a mold that she had made for me. Never have I ever felt more stuck, because, in truth, I couldn't live with her, but I couldn't live without her either.
Hi everyone, so my name's Sam, and this is a letter that I wrote to you, Colorado College, and I'm not acting, I actually wrote this. On the wrong page. Colorado College, I want to say thank you. You have made possible for me a transformation and a comfortable realization of self that for the first 20 years of my life evaded me. I came out as gay to my best friend, who's right there, at the end of my sophomore year here, and after that to all of my friends, and after their positive responses to all of my family as well. Not once did anyone here flinch, they did not squirm, and they certainly never turned away. They were excited for me, and that's not how it is everywhere. I grew up in a place where it's not okay to be gay. I still have some friends elsewhere that refuse to acknowledge it, even though I've told them plainly, it's as if they can't imagine how I could be okay with it. But I want to recognize and to affirm the way that I've been treated at Colorado College. Being gay has not made my life more difficult. It is an honor, it is a privilege, and quite frankly, it's led to some crazy fun shit. Just ask me in the shower that one time, I dare you. You see, I've never once had to defend myself here. My friends once heard someone use the, excuse my language, faggot word, and the culprit was nearly physically attacked. No, things are really good for me here. People are either wonderfully casual with regards to my sexuality, after all, what's it to them? Or they're genuinely curious and excited. I can talk with my friends, guys and girls, about fucking hot guys, getting fucked, sucking dick, you name it. And that is really freeing. I'm not gonna act like my life is perfect. Being here has caused the occasionally long, dry spell that I might not have had if I were living in London or New York. And sexual frustration is a near constant, but while we might not be bursting at the seams with other gay men, we are completely filled with good people. And I would not give up the time that I spent here for anything else, sexually frustrated or not. Honestly, it kind of feels like people are rooting for me here, and that's really special. So to my friends here in the audience, and to all of my peers alike, I want to commend you. You've made for me a safe and a loving place where I've been able to thrive and never once felt persecuted. Thank you guys, you rock.
When my mother, my poor innocent mother, found out about my newest sexual exploit, a man, the first after years of sex, toe curling, spine tingling, pelvic floor clenching sex exclusively with women, she asked me the following question. Does that mean you're not a virgin anymore? My poor innocent mother. How could she have known what such a question might provoke? What eye-opening, life-shattering, can-unseen confession would come out of her child's mouth. After having the majority of their moments of ecstatic, homoerotic bliss invalidated, I was not proud of what I said. And what I said was this. Mother, I have been fisted before. More questions were to come. One would think that after this kind of knowledge, there is nothing left to ask. But my mother asked if the lesbians are mad that I'm having straight sex. I don't know how to respond because I am not a woman and I am not straight. So how is it possible for me to have straight sex? How can I explain the liminal space of holy, as I thrust into him all 8 inches of silicon bliss as he calls me master, mistress, and God in one breath? Or the power of being blindfolded and tied down because I asked to be? Because that is what I wanted. And when was the last time you got to ask for what you wanted? I am not just a non-virgin. I am the hedonist you're taught about in Sunday school. I am the product of the sexual revolution. I know what I want, and I will say what I want in no uncertain terms, let it be a feather on my skin or a fist up my butt. Look, I'm not trying to be graphic. I'm just trying to say there ain't nothing straight about it, even if it was as vanilla as a bean. The fact that I'm queer means my sex is queer. Always will be. Mother, I'm not trying to scare you. I just need you to know there is a sacredness you must not desecrate. This is about identity. It is as much me as my fingertips. Every way I touch him is a way I've learned from her touching me. And he has taught me new ways to touch her. I will follow the lines of his tongue on my skin like a map to trace the contours of any future him, her, thems. I will slip into their skin like I've learned from experience. I will slip into my skin where I am master, I am mistress, and I am God, as in I am in God's image. And God has no gender, and I have no gender, except for when I want one.
And I am not straight, and I am not man or woman.
not just sex.
This is an act of unbecoming.
And becoming.
And if I am anything, I am the space in between.
Straight and gay, man and woman, top and bottom.
An identity as slippery as sweat.
An identity that transcends definition.
Where all that matters is who I am in that moment.
It is between me, my bedsheets, and whoever my lover is for the time being.
And it does not matter what they call me.
So long as it is said with all due reverence, a gasp, a moan, or a cry to the heavens, or more.
Thank you. I hope that we have been able to help facilitate the beginning of discussions on the truths of our campus's sex culture. P.S. Because of relations, I kissed a girl and I liked it.
I hope that you walk away from our show not necessarily feeling the need to talk about sex all the time. But if you want to, you can comfortably do so in a judgment-free zone.
I'm fucking weird. And relationships showed me that everyone else is fucking weird as well. I gained a family, people I completely trust, who never judge and love openly. Like this one.
This experience has helped me to love and trust others in a pretty exceptional way. And have a lot of fun, too.
Having to push ourselves out of our comfort zones like this and talk about such sensitive subjects has caused us to really form some incredible and lasting friendships that I wouldn't trade for anything. Honestly, it's really freaking special.
Joining relations reaffirmed that I am certain about my identity. I also realized that being uncertain is okay. Relations helped me navigate the vagueness of identity to no identity at all.
Thank you for your courage. Thank you for listening. Thank you for creating a space that allows me to share. Thank you for being present and relentlessly kind. Thank you for taking me as I am.
Tonight, I want to say I'm incredibly grateful to every single one of you for sharing this experience with us. It means a lot to me and to everyone on the cast.
I have learned that I'm awkward and that's okay.
I want the CC community to know that whether our stories were hilarious, tragic, outrageous, or even familiar, we all have experiences worth sharing and thoughts worth expressing. And being able to share in this has been such a beautiful thing. It nurtures and connects us and allows us to address such important social issues on campus.
Relations has helped me to appreciate and embrace open souls, minds, and bodies. Thank you to everyone who took the time to be curious and explore your sexuality. We're not alone in our thoughts and concerns.
Thank you for sharing. Your story is so important. And by sharing it, you are helping make the seemingly uncomfortable comfortable. Let us continue to learn from one another, to love, and to share.